Picture a stadium holding 80,000 people, and every single one of them is holding their breath. It's the evening of December 18th, 2022, Lusail, Qatar, the World Cup final. And France, the defending champions, are losing. 2-0 down to Argentina. Messi has been magnificent. Di Maria has produced one of the great finals goals. It looks like it's over. And then Kylian Mbappé wakes up. 80 minutes, penalty, goal, Mbappé. 81 minutes, a volley, thundering, instinctive, impossible, goal, Mbappé again. 2-0 becomes 2-2 in 97 seconds. The stadium erupts. The world goes into shock. Then Messi scores in extra time to make it 3-2, and the world goes into shock again. Then Mbappe scores a penalty in extra time, 3-3, a hat-trick, the first hat-trick in a World Cup final since Jeff Hurst in 1966. France and Argentina went toe-to-toe all the way to a penalty shootout after a 3-3 draw across 120 extraordinary minutes. Mbappe had scored his first 2 goals just 97 seconds apart before adding his third penalty in extra time, and France still lost on penalties. Because that's France, that's Les Bleus. They never do anything the easy way. They break your heart, they mend it, they break it again, and somehow across it all, they remain one of the most captivating nations in football history. 2 World Cup trophies, 2 runners-up finishes, more World Cup final appearances than almost anyone on earth. This is the story of France. And in 2026, hunger burning, fire lit, Mbappe fully in his prime, they are coming for a 3rd star. Let's go. Welcome to Homeland, the series that takes you deep inside every nation at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And today we're talking about one of the true giants of world football, France. Les Bleus, the Blues, a team that somehow feels simultaneously inevitable and exciting. You know they're going to be there at the end of major tournaments. You know they have the players, the depth, the experience. And yet there's always this sense of theater with France, this feeling that even when they win, they're going to make it dramatic. Even when they lose, it's going to be spectacular. The French Football Federation, known as the FFF, has the nickname Les Bleus, plays under UEFA, and can claim among its records a first international match in 1904 against Belgium, a 3-3 draw in Brussels, and best World Cup results of champions in 1998 and 2018. What we're going to do today is take you through the full story, the history, the legends, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, the 1998 summer that changed a nation, the genius of Platini before most of us were paying attention, the record that stood before the Premier League existed, the final that produced perhaps the greatest individual performance in World Cup history, and then 2026, why this tournament, with this squad, under this coach, could be the year France finally completes the job that Qatar 2022 left unfinished. Buckle in. This one's going to be something. Let's start right here, right now. France entered the 2026 FIFA World Cup as the top-ranked nation in the world, #1 on the FIFA rankings, the best team on the planet according to every metric the sport's governing body uses. That is the position France carries into this tournament, not as dark horses, not as contenders, but as the nation against which every other team is measured. France's head coach is Didier Deschamps, who has been in charge since 2012, and this will be his final tournament. He led France to glory in 2018 and to the final in 2022, and he's now said his goodbyes are coming in North America this summer. One of only 3 men in the history of football to win the World Cup both as a player and a manager. Deschamps has built something remarkable over 14 years, a dynasty of consistency, a culture of winning. His preferred system is a 4-3-3 with rapid transitions, Mbappe's vertical runs exploiting the space behind high defensive lines, and a midfield trio that balances press resistance with creative link play. It's not flashy football, it's not tiki-taka, it's pragmatic, direct, devastating on the counter-attack, and it has delivered results with stunning regularity. France qualified for the 2026 World Cup through the UEFA qualifying rounds, finishing as group winners with an unbeaten record, dominant throughout, scoring freely and conceding very little. No drama, no squeaky moments, no playoff stress. France qualify the way France do things at their best, with cold efficiency and a squad deep enough to rotate freely while still winning comfortably. France are in Group I alongside Senegal, Iraq, and Norway. Their 3 group matches take place across New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Boston. On paper, this is a manageable group. France are expected to win it comfortably. But there's a warning in the history books. Senegal beat France 1-0 in the 2002 World Cup opener in one of the tournament's great upsets. These things happen. Now, the squad, and honestly, this is where you have to take a breath. France are captained by Real Madrid star Kylian Mbappé, who won the Golden Boot at Qatar 2022, scoring a hat-trick in the final against Argentina. Across his 2 World Cup appearances, Mbappé has scored 12 total goals and is the all-time leading scorer in World Cup finals history. 27 years old, still in his prime, still hungry, still, despite every accolade, every record, every trophy, without that second World Cup winner's medal. That's the motivation burning inside Mbappé as he steps off the plane in North America this summer. But France aren't a one-man team, far from it. Reigning Ballon d'Or winner Ousmane Dembélé arrives as French football's second most important figure behind Mbappé. His dribbling, creativity and goal threat from wide giving France an attacking flexibility that no defense can fully account for. And Michael Olise is one of the main contenders to win the Ballon d'Or in 2026, an extraordinary statement that speaks to the level of his Bayern Munich performances this season. At 35, N'Golo Kante is still playing at a high level, and alongside Aurélien Tchouameni, he gives France a midfield engine room that provides exactly the kind of defensive foundation Deschamps demands. The backline features William Saliba of Arsenal and Ibrahima Konate as their starting centre-back pairing, young, athletic, dominant in the air, and sharp on the ball. Goalkeeper Mike Maignan of AC Milan is regarded as one of the very best in the world. France's biggest challenge may be integrating a wave of emerging attacking talent without disrupting the balance and tactical discipline that has underpinned their recent tournament success. That's a real question. Can Deschamps get Mbappé, Dembélé and Olise playing fluently together? Does the system constrain the individuality that makes these players special? It's the puzzle that's fascinated football fans all spring. And we'll find out the answer on a very large stage. Realistic ceiling? Put it this way, if France don't reach the semi-finals of this tournament, it will be considered a major disappointment. A genuine third World Cup title is firmly within their reach. The squad depth, the individual quality, the tournament experience, France have it all. But there's always that French element of uncertainty. that theatrical streak, that sense that nothing will ever be straightforward, which is exactly what makes them must-watch television. To understand France at the 2026 World Cup, you need to understand where they've been, and the story goes back a long way. France's first international match was a 3-3 draw with Belgium in 1904, so the FFF is one of the founding members of international football as we know it. France were part of the inaugural World Cup in 1930 in Uruguay, one of the first nations to make the journey to South America for the tournament. They've been there at virtually every World Cup since. But the first moment that truly put France on the global football map came in Sweden, 1958. Just Fontaine and the untouchable record. Picture a striker who almost didn't make the squad, a last-minute inclusion, filling in for an injured teammate.